The kind of hatred that Kenyans have developed against President William Ruto in Kenya has surpassed the limit that is expected. Because right now, it does not matter what William Ruto is doing. It doesn't matter what he does, what he says, what he gives. All matters is that he needs to go home in 2027. During the Madaraka Day in Wajir County, immediately the function ended after the people were raising two fingers saying two-term to please President William Ruto so that they can get something to eat, so that they can get that cash that they were promised. After that function ended, they were seen saying it is Wantam. They even said Ruto had created a marvelous stadium, Wajir Stadium. But despite building that, Ruto still remains Wantam. There is a video that has taken rounds the whole day today, and many people are talking about it. Others are questioning why it is happening that way, because we realize when you are happy that the president is working for you, then you shouldn't question his re-election. But here, someone is happy that something is built, that the president has built a stadium, but still she or he wants him out of that seat. It's something that needs to be studied. It should be used as a case study, and actually to determine, or rather to learn the political space in Kenya. Let's watch this video.
My friend, look at this stadium, very beautiful. Lakini, one time. What look at this stadium, very beautiful. My friend, one time.
That is something that is happening not only in Wajir, but all over the country. People are tired of William Ruto, and there are many reasons why it is happening. Number one, it started slowly because William Ruto had positioned himself as the chief hustler, someone who knows the plight of the hustlers, someone who knows the plight of the border riders, the mamamboga. But when he took power, all that changed. That is when the Kenyans, that's when Kenyans realized that this man was saying all those because he needed their sympathy, he needed their votes. After taking power, everything changed. He started overtaxing, he started humiliating the hustlers. So the hatred that Kenyans have, it started slow by slow, because there are some of the decisions that were made to some limit, or to some extent it shows that President William Ruto doesn't care about the low, let me say the low life, those who are the low income earners. It started even from 2024, the finance bill. The finance bill that was, how can I say it? The finance bill, it showed that the government of William Ruto does not really consider those who are the low income earners. It was so brutal. I mean, whatever was written there, I don't know what the government of William Ruto really wanted with the Kenyans. So that is how the hatred was built inside the people of Kenya. To an extent, right now, it is exploding. I saw a certain video where some guy in TikTok was asking Kenyans that they provide a bomb, and he was ready to die to save Kenyans, so that he goes where Ruto has a function, and he goes there so that that bomb can explode. And as much as he dies, as far as Kenyans will be okay, will live happily, with only one condition: Kenyans to help his family. When someone reaches that point where he wants to sacrifice his own life for the benefit of other Kenyans, that tells you that that hatred that has been built inside the hearts of many Kenyans, it has reached a point where it is now exploding. Reason number 2, William Ruto has been so careless in some of the decisions, including let's start with the current decision that was made. In fact, according to Kenyans.co.ke, they indicated that the Marco Rubio said, that is the ambassador of the United States in Kenya, said that William Ruto himself went to seek for an agreement deal with the US so that they can build a facility in Kenya, a facility that will accommodate all those victims of Ebola from United States of America. Such decisions, the careless decisions, are making Kenyans so bitter, and the hatred against William Ruto keeps increasing each day. We've seen leaders, all leaders, including the UDA leaders, are against an Ebola center being built in Laikipia, Nanyuki. Such careless decisions are the ones that are making Kenyans bitter, very bitter with William Ruto. And then we have the incompetence of William Ruto. When you talk about incompetence of William Ruto, it's not necessarily about William Ruto. We talk about the cabinet, the kind of people he works with, those people who are with him, the kind of cabinet secretaries he's choosing. Recently, we lost 16 students. In fact, 16 students of Automation Academy. In as much as we cannot blame it solely on the political class, to some extent the political class has a hand in whatever is happening, because this thing has been happening in Kenya, not yet again. So what can be done? There are many reasons. The Cabinet Secretary Internal Security should have come with the various solutions to curb this, the act of setting ablaze dormitories in different schools in the country. But you realize when Murkomen heard that there is a school in fire, he didn't even bother. At night, it was around 2 a.m. He was a good leader, a good cabinet secretary of internal security, he could make sure he is there, even by use of road. But he didn't want to use road. He wants to use helicopter because he ni Wajir is the cabinet secretary internal security. Now, due to that incompetence, he waited up to the daybreak when the sun had risen, because the atmosphere now is okay, the helicopter can be flown. So he went there with the helicopter. In fact, to an extent, he sat in the helicopter, let the photographers out first so that they can photograph how he is alighting from that helicopter to go and see an emergency where a fire had taken lives of 16 students. What kind of incompetence? All that goes back to President William Ruto, is the one who put him in that office. Even when they were having the prayer day, you could see the moods. They were told that 16 students had died in the inferno. They could put to a halt that celebration they had, the prayer, because even that breakfast prayer, it does not help Kenya. Wanatoka pale and it doesn't. They could have stopped it prematurely to rush to the scene. Those are the kind of leaders Kenyans want. Incompetence. And then lastly, we have taxes. Many taxes. Some, they don't make sense. Recently, there was a fuel price hike. And in Kenya alone, when you look at in Tanzania and Uganda, prices are a bit cheaper. But when President himself stands on a pulpit to tell Kenyans that prices of fuel in Uganda are cheaper because in Kenya we import standard fuel. There's some things, But it's because of the VAT, the 16% VAT that was reduced to 8%. Why don't they take away even the 8% so that they can reduce the price of fuel? That is the problem we have in Kenya, and that is why you see people are shouting and heckling Wantam, despite the fact that Ruto has constructed a very beautiful, marvelous, cozy stadium in Wajir County. I don't know what you think. Write your comment down there in the comment section. Let us talk, let us discuss. Perhaps we can form a basis for whatever we're gonna prepare in the next video. So if you're new here, consider subscribing, liking, and sharing our content. Hit the notification bell so that you can be receiving notifications each and every time we bring you a new content.